what an amazingly funny, insightful, human film this is. It's such a surprise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Andy, how did the film find you? How did you find the film?
It was sent to me as a spec, basically saying, would you want to be in this and or produce it with your company? And I was about 20 pages in when I decided yes to both. I just fell in love with it immediately. It was so funny and different and felt like I could play the character, which is not always the case for me when I read something. And we just immediately said yes, and it took off from there.
I am still laughing at the movie, and yet weeping too in places. Cristin, how about you? How did you find it?
I mean, I met with Andy and Becky Sloviter, our incredible producer, and I met with you guys on like a general to just talk about possibly collaborating with each other. And it was supposed to be like a half-hour meeting, and the three of us sat and talked for like 3 hours about like everything under the sun. And I left being like, oh wow, that was like such a pleasure. But you know, I actually didn't know about the movie at all. Like I just was like, God, what a great afternoon. And then I was sent the script, I think like shortly thereafter, and just fell in love with it.
Yeah, I fell in love with the existentialism of the movie too. It gets into some really interesting and very personal and deep moments.
I think that too. You know, in all this, in these press junkets, I've been saying that like, sure, it's a romantic comedy, but I sort of have always thought of it as like an existential comedy because it does deal with these huge things that, like you know, people unable to escape themselves anymore and having to like deal with their stuff and. You know, the ways in which we try to numb ourselves. And I think that is like, it's one of my favorite aspects of the film.
Now, Andy, I have to congratulate you on a couple. One is Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of my favorite shows. And it's just, to me, you know, I grew up watching, you know, things like Barney Miller. And this is such a great show.
Thank you.
So congratulations on that.
Appreciate it.
And a big part of one of my favorite movies of all time, Brigsby Bear.
Yeah.
It's got such a great soul to it.
Love that movie. Those guys did a great job.
Now, I did find out that both of you do voice work. Do you enjoy doing voice work?
I love it.
Best.
Yeah, I do. I've done like a bunch of different characters on the Venture Brothers. And like that show, they just have me in a booth and they're like, try this accent now, try that accent now. Okay, now try this. It's a blast.
It's wonderful. And the Dark Crystal, Andy.
Oh my God, when they announced they were doing a Dark Crystal series, apparently I was the first cold call they received, like an hour. Netflix did such a great job on that as well. Awesome. It was like my childhood dream come true.
Hey, listen, we only had a few minutes, and I just wanted to say again, Palm Springs is not just a favorite movie. It is probably my favorite movie so far of the year. It is really, really well done.
Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you.
Thank you both, and have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.